For Complex News, I'm Pierce Simpson, live from Austin, Texas for South by Southwest, where some of the biggest names in music will be stopping through the city. We chopped it up with the Phoenix collective Injury Reserve to get a sense on their music, their newest project. But before we did all of that, we stopped by one of the oldest video stores in the United States to see what type of movies they like. Let's check it out.
Do they have like classic stuff here? Because when I come here, I think of like going to the library and getting The Wiz, which is like, that was the first thing I thought of. Because if they have The Wiz, we might have to pay our dues.
Is there any movies that you guys like that people universally hate?
Don't look at the Rotten Tomatoes score for Space Jam.
Okay, all right. So I'm glad you opened that up. Listen,
that'll change everything you ever thought.
I don't have a movie, but I have a show that everybody watches that I have not seen like 20
You're gonna say
seconds
The
of.
Office?
No, Game of Thrones.
Oh, I haven't seen, but I've like purposely like.
Same.
He's like an anti like any type of fantasy.
My God, I'm with you. I can't get into like dragons and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I got bills to pay.
I was so late that I was like, I'll just wait. He said I got bills to pay.
I got bills to pay. I can't go see a dragon outside.
If there's a dragon in it, unless it's an A24 film, he'll maybe watch a dragon A24 film.
So was he the harsh critic of the three?
Yeah,
definitely the harshest of the three.
Yeah.
Okay, so whenever a song's being created, are you the last one to get the green light on it?
Yeah,
always. Okay.
But that's like, that's different though, because that's just like how everything works on through. But he's also the most into film too.
Gotcha. Okay.
He actually and it's like he directs all the videos and stuff like that. So
since it's like an entertainment industry at the end of the day, people like their artists to be kind of like, this is that character, this is this character in the movie, this is this character in the movie. Even like some of the most respected artists, that's true. Like a lot of the like geniuses like have to kind of play like the eccentric or whatever, and like you got the Lil Pumps have to play the Lil Pumps, and the Kendricks have to play everyone has to like play their roles, and I think we're kind of just like doing our thing, being like.
I feel like it's a little easier to consume things when you can put a label on it.
It's one of those things that you actually think of the least. We're luckily in the position where we can make any type of song that we want to make. So we're never in like, oh, but is this like Injury Reserve? And we're in this situation where we've been fortunate enough to train our fans that like the approach and the mentality is really what Injury Reserve is, and it's not any specific type of sound. I think when it comes to who we are as people, I mean, we're obviously like regular people. I think a lot of times that's hard to grasp if we're not, yo, I'm like you, I'm at the grocery store. You know what I mean? Because you also don't want to.
That's all, yeah. That's a character in itself.
Yeah, exactly. It's as weirdly as it sounds, it's hard to genuinely come off genuine.
This is all crazy. I really want to see if they have The Wiz.
Yeah.
Because if they have The
Wiz.
I'm sure they do.
See, do y'all get caught in those wormholes of like movie conspiracies and what the director or writer was really trying to see that deep breath? I feel
like Toby is the Scranton Strangler and
like
that shit. That's a big one.
I like the one that Michael's a genius.
Yeah, that Michael's a genius.
Yeah, Michael's being a genius.
Have you seen that theory? That's
Michael
a good
Scott.
one.
From The Office?
Yeah, that Michael is a
Reddit
genius, and he's actually very well aware of like everything that's going on.
That's crazy.
If you watch it, it makes a lot of
complete
sense.
Yeah.
Because nothing ever goes bad really. And, like it just seems like he's kind of just f***ing with everyone. I've
like
seen The Office like 6 times. I feel like everyone has.
There's like 3 telling moments too. Main one being the Michael Scott Paper Company. When he just has to sit David Wallace out because he has a board meeting.
What story are you guys trying to tell with this album?
That's a great question. Do you want to answer that?
I mean, I'm just making noises.
Yeah. Well, I think that the story of what this album was, and I think that the biggest tell for it all was the fact that we made it self-titled, like as Injury Reserve. And before we had the narrative of, you know, we made these 2 mixtapes in a dentist's office, and that was kind of a gimme. But obviously taking it serious. It wasn't like, we're just messing around. Like in this record, the self-titled record, our debut album, seems to have a lot of that technical approach, but then also have some of the likings and the if sound is the best say, but also some of the mindset and the ambition and the character from the previous records.
Yeah.
It's crazy because doing something like that, it's very interesting how it allows the production, both the production to come out itself, but also the writing to come out itself. What this album is, the story of this album is just the music that this is the music that we're trying to make. And that's why putting the name on it is both refreshing, but also like telling.
So as a collective and as a group, it's easy as a solo artist to say, okay, I like my album to be this way. But when there's 3 people, what's the process in which you all come together as a collective to say, okay, we're good with this, it sounds good, what's the process?
There's no process.
Really?
There's no process with anything.
I think it's just trying everything.
Yeah, I think that this was the album that we did the best, where we actually had a discussion about it, where we need to take like pride off the table with this album. While it may seem like it'd be a negative thing, I think, and personally it's an extremely positive thing, because most people, obviously, they work in groups to a certain degree, but there's no such thing as like a yes man, because at the end of the day, like if it's a solo artist, at the end of the day, it's their album and it's their name on it. So people have that ceiling where they're like, you know what, it's your song, I'll walk away. There's no doing that when it's 3 people.
Yeah.
And you see that firsthand with people where like you talk to their managers or their this or whoever, and everyone's kind of like, yeah, it's what he wants to do.
Right.
And like everyone from the outside has that, like, because obviously like self-awareness is one of the most like difficult things in life, I think. It's easier when you have 3, I think.
You segue perfectly into one of my final questions for you all. You were mentioning it's very important to be very self-aware, right? And I feel like you all are very self-aware. So what would you say the perception of Injury Reserve is? And are you hoping to change that perception after South by Southwest?
That's a sick question.
I think the perception is a little,
I would say that people perceive us to be like this underground like group that doesn't like wants to be like
a little more serious. Isn't?
Do you kind of feel like
we care a lot? It doesn't.
Right.
You can care a lot and like it can be amazing, and it doesn't have to be like 100% serious.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's hard. I mean, definitely. To answer the question, like, I don't think anyone ever is likes how they're represented or how they're viewed, and I think that like we perceive that we're like really boxed in right now in regards to everything but music. And that's what's funny, is it's like we have no boxes around us in regards to music, because we came into the internet basically, like we did one project and then we did another project, which was like a response basically saying like that project.
Right.
We got looked at and everyone was starting to look at it as this like new wave like jazz rap group, and we were like, oh, that.
Like, yeah, it's like, boom. I don't want to be
we don't want to do
yeah.
that. So I don't think that we really don't like where people view us on regards to what kind of music we make. It's really like the narrative on like our goals, and the narrative on like what kind of people we are.
Because at the end of the day, y'all just want to be Injury Reserve.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, absolutely. As corny as it sounds, we've kind of just proven that, like, no matter what people.
A lot of people say that. I think we walk it, actually.
Yeah, we've just proven that we're just gonna do what we want to do, and it's like, it's funny, every time we drop a project, it's a different rap group that we're getting compared to. Because it's like, who's popping now?
Of course, yeah, of course.
That's like a big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like this. And I'm just like, I remember when y'all said we were like this, and that was way different than this. Like, that's what I know y'all are just forcing.
Yes. Fellas, I appreciate you stopping by. I mean, we looked at every movie possible here in Austin, Texas.
I think someone said that
we gotta find him the Wiz. We gotta find him the Wiz.
Looking the whole time?
You could have been looking this whole time. You slacking there.
Ah, damn.
Oh, right there.
How great is our God? Sing with me, how great. You're mic'd right now. Is our God. Boom, 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 boom.
I love
The music.
you know, I'm out.
He's on down the road.